I caught my husband in bed with my mother, and he told me that I was just a placeholder. So, I went nuclear. I, 40, have been with my husband, 39, since we were 15. I got pregnant at 17, and we moved in with my parents. I'm 7 months pregnant with my last child, who is due in April. I thought I had a good marriage. We were intimate more than twice a week, went on date nights, bought each other gifts, and didn't fight. My entire world was shattered on New Year's Eve when I returned early from a girls' trip with some friends. I entered my bedroom to find my mom, 60, having intimacy with my husband. My mother screamed at me to get out of their bedroom, which shook me up even more. Unfortunately, my oldest daughter was also in her bedroom across the house, preparing for a party. She ran out and witnessed my all but a bedsheet naked mother run out of our house next door to her house and slam the door. My daughter was devastated and went to my sister's house. I asked her not to say anything until I first talked to my husband. I asked him for the truth. He told me that my mom seduced him when we were 18 and living in their house. They'd been having unprotected intimacy at least once a month for longer than we were married. I ran the math and was horrified because the timeline meant my twin brothers and youngest brother could be my husband's. I immediately called my dad and told him to come to my house without my mom. I made my husband confess, and my dad was devastated. He and my mom were high school sweethearts, too. We could hear my mother screaming from her house when he confronted her. I then told my older sister, and she and I decided to have her throw a party for the extended family, and we invited my ex's family as well. At the party, I had my daughter take all the kids to our basement and put on a movie, leaving only the adult children and siblings, and I told them exactly what they'd been doing. Word got out, and my mom's best friend, who is in leadership at my mom's church, called me to verify. My mom has since been let go as the children's pastor there, and she claims I've essentially ruined her reputation and life. My dad kicked her out, and she lives with my sister. Lastly, my dad insisted on a DNA test for the 3 youngest boys before he'd consider anything to do with their marriage. The twins are my husband's biological children. I've since kicked him out, and he's living with his parents. My husband is appalled and furious that I proved he is about to have 7 kids instead of 5 and that I'm going to be taking half his business away from him. My husband started his own HVAC company a few years back, and for the first 5 years, I helped him set it up, ran the office completely, and took time away from my teaching career to help him get this established. All marital assets, including businesses, are split 50-50 in my state. My mother is also likely not to get alimony, as our state is not a no-fault divorce state. I'm now over a month removed, still extremely bitter and angry at my mother, especially at her hypocrisy of calling me a tart and shaming my family when she's done much worse. I also despise my ex with everything within me now, as he was effing both my mom and me, in some instances, coming to our bed minutes later. He got my mother pregnant less than a week after getting me pregnant, and while I thought it was so cute and fun that I shared a pregnancy experience with my mom, she was carrying my children's half-siblings. He has broken all trust I had in men and being faithful. Also, to add insult to injury, my husband confirmed in one of our mediated conversations the affair started when I made him angry. He didn't tell me and instead vented to my mom when they were alone. She comforted him, and they had intimacy. He loved it and then pursued her after that. He said he would have divorced me but knew he'd get cut off from her, and she was so much better at intimacy than me, so he stuck it out with me. He told me I was a placeholder. Despite all the betrayal and low blows, that statement keeps me up at night. Update 1. I had a phone conversation with my aunt today, my egg donor sister, and she told me there is a family history of cheating in our family on their side of the family. My grandma cheated on my grandpa for years, but they reconciled. My aunt herself had multiple emotional affairs but is still married to my uncle. She tried blaming genetics on my mom's affair. I laughed out loud at the absurdity of that attempt to justify her affair, and my aunt is now mad at me for not hearing my egg donor out and her explanations for cheating. I asked my aunt if my mama inherited the whore gene, which child did she pass it on to, and how did my grandma manage to pass it on to both her daughters, so that's probably why she's mad in retrospect. Update 2. I tried hard to go the route of a mediated divorce, but my ex told me yesterday through his lawyers that he doesn't believe that the baby I'm carrying is his, and he wants a DNA test as soon as he's born because he doesn't want to support a child that isn't his. He also believes I routinely cheated on him throughout our marriage and that I knew about his ongoing affair and used that as my excuse to have my affairs. None of that is true, but I wish it were because it would make the divorce easier. My lawyer told me to get ready for a long, drawn-out, brutal, contested divorce and that my ex was likely going to try every underhanded tactic in the book to make my life even more miserable.